Now, for those of you who want to know, full disclosure, I'm here to liberate those who are timid, meek, mild-mannered, who are defenseless, who are unable to defend themselves. That is what I am structured for. That is what I am here to do. That is what my entity does and will do. This is no bullshit, no frills, no bells, no whistles, nothing fucking funny. Now, I've been financing this operation, this activity for more than 25 years now through arts, entertainment, media, whatever I've been able to do to promulgate and perpetuate, that is, promote this concept of CI, counterintelligence, CT, counterterrorism. Now, I've been very polite. I've been very diplomatic. I never RICO'd. I could have sold kilograms of fucking cocaine, dope, heroin, this and that. And I chose not to because I cut it off at some point. And I said, you know what, man, that's not the fucking pathway. Now, check this out. I'm done fucking with these people, man. I'm done being fucking nice. I'm done being fucking nice. I'm done being a fucking nice guy. I'm fucking absolutely motherfucking done. The straw that broke the camel's back in the proverbial sense of it all was actually two incidents. One, when I was a child, I was set up by my local police department. They fucking burned me. There was an attorney back where I come from who actually looked at some paperwork and found out who my girlfriend was at the time, and he went and had a relationship with her. He found her. Okay? Now check this out. That's corruption. Now, I let that shit ride. I let that shit slide. I went on to become a college honor student, worked in law enforcement, government, U.S. Intel, man, and I overlooked that shit, man, and I let that shit go. Now, check game. You go to court on some bullshit, speeding ticket. Some fucking attorney finds out who your spouse is and then goes and approaches your spouse, male, female, whatever, and enters into a relationship with him, her, based on deception. That's what this fucking attorney did. Now, these people thought that they got away with the shit that they fucking did to me when I was a fucking kid. They never knew in the future that there would be a high-speed internet. They never knew that there would be podcasts, and they never knew that I would put out the albums and the merchandise and the shit that I've done. They never knew that I would work in government, in law enforcement, in U.S. intelligence. They had no fucking clue. So, this is fucking revenge. Now, check this out. Check this out. I have no qualms about saying the following. I'm not afraid. I have no fucking fear. What so goddamn fucking ever. What so motherfucking ever. I'm out here, man. I've braved all these different storms, man. Hail, sleet, snow, 15 motherfucking years. Doesn't matter the weather conditions. I've lived in the desert of Eastern Washington, man. I've lived in mountainous regions, in cold, basically Arctic blast fucking temperatures. So cold regions. I'm talking about shit that is inhospitable, okay? And I've dealt with all kinds of fucking insane bullshit. And I've watched these motherfuckers make a mockery of our United States, my United States government, and I'm fucking fed up. Now, I'm not a terrorist, no. I work in national security. I went to school. I got my credentials. I got my fucking credentials, and I spent over $100,000 of my student financial aid fucking money because I come from a middle class family. Even though I had a rich uncle, he had to take care of his sons, 3 of them, and me at the same time because my dad in Chicago, who's a mobster, was never fucking around. Now, it's not boo-hoo, woe is me, or anything like that. My mother raised me, my uncle raised me, my neighborhood fucking raised me, and I'm from the 151 Riverside fucking district, and I've never given a fuck about crooked, corrupt elements of our fucking government. If I need to get guns, I can go and get a gun anywhere in the United States of America over fucking seas. And just so you know, just to put it out there, just to let you know, fucking full disclosure, I've worked at United States intel agencies where that is their responsibility, weapons non-proliferation, and I've been involved in weapons non-proliferation because I used to sell guns and I used to run guns illegally, and then I did this shit sanctioned. And they taught me how to break into shit. They taught me how to fucking conduct counterintelligence. They taught me how to steal fucking foreign intelligence information, and they sanctioned me to do this shit. And yeah, I went out on a limb. Yeah, it was some crazy fucking shit. Yeah, I went undercover. Yeah, I put my life on the line, and I did that fucking shit. And I earned my motherfucking stripes when people thought I was a fucking joke and I couldn't fucking do it. And I did it. So, the point is, I proved my self-worth. I could have just been set up by a fucking rogue system under John fucking Brennan, okay? Under all these motherfucking scumbag dirtbags like Barack Hussein, Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, you fucking name it. I could have just been a set-up patsy lackey, bootleg fucking lackey from the Seattle area, Puget fucking Sound. But you know what I said, man? I said, man, fuck this, man. I'm not a vagrant. I'm not a hobo. I'm not a sucker. I'm not a punk. And I'm not a patsy. And I'm not a lackey. And I'm not a fucking fall guy. So I'm going to rise up against these motherfuckers who set up America on 9/11. And I know how they did it. They ignored the intel of who? Colleen Rowley, expert FBI analyst, man. They let 9/11 happen. Now, you don't have to believe that that shit happened. I'm going to tell you like this. It was a dark time in history. And I was in Edmonds, Washington, at the time, at a small college, before I went to the university, and there was a motherfucker who lived in my apartment complex who came outside when those towers came down, and he said, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And the property management motherfucker who was there, president at the time, came out and had to tell him, hey, listen, man, you need to be quiet. You need to stop what you're fucking saying. This was just as 9/11 happened north of fucking Seattle, okay? And we knew about other shit that was going on that the FBI slept on because J. Edgar Hoover has a history of cover-ups and sleeping on shit. And I'm tired of these motherfuckers in our so-called fucking government. I've always had guns. I'll always have guns in America. And no one will ever take my motherfucking guns no matter what. That's right. I'm from 495. Man, deep in fucking Everett. You'll never take our fucking guns from us, man. We'll blast on you before you ever fucking take our fucking guns. Legal or ill fucking legal. And I said that shit. And I've worked at the DOJ. And I've worked at different fucking agencies. 3-letter motherfucking agencies. You fucking hear me? So check this out. The point is, you got pencil neck, dick-sucking pieces of shit un-Americans in our government. Allah, that is, therefore, as I'm pointing and alluding to Adam Schiff, Nancy Pelosi, all these other fucking frauds, James Comey, setup artist, 9/11, who's gonna be indicted, go to a black site, Robert Mueller, fake fucking senile, fake senility, fucking fake ass punk, claiming dementia, pretending like he fucking doesn't know what's going on. Man, fuck him. Fuck him and Andrew McCabe and Lisa Page and Peter Strzok and motherfucking Christopher Steele. Christopher Steele, we're going to come after you fucking too. And this so-called whistleblower and your fake-ass attorneys who represent you, we're going to come after you too. You motherfucking son of a goddamn bitch. And that's not a threat. That's a promise from a U.S. American fucking patriot. And I know a lot of militia groups. And I know a lot of patriots in America. And if you hear what the fuck I'm talking about, you can hit me up on the Cash App. $Aerospace Development. And that's me, One Sir fucking Grove.